everybody. Timmy D here from Pullman Standard on assignment with BackStage360 magazine, and I'm sitting here with Grammy Award winner, Mr. Eric Marienthal. Mr. Eric Marienthal, how is it going?
Very good, man. Thank you very much.
It is quite warm here in Huntington Beach. With such a great atmosphere, how does that play into, your energy for today? Just hanging out and just feeling good about things.
Well, it's great. I live 5 minutes down the street here in Newport, and so that's it's nice to be able to do something right in my own neighborhood. But to do this, we've been doing this every year for the past 20 years, and so I'm just, we'd be happy to be doing this if we were in New York. I'm just really thrilled about the fact that we've been able to do what we have for High Hopes and for the students who are there, and all the musicians who I've been able to pull together over the years to come and perform, and it's just been great.
How do you find the energy after 20 years to continuously have a smile? Well, you're doing something good, so smile on the face is easy, but 20 years every year, is it even more inspiring every year to get out there and do it again and do it again?
Well, it's become, I think the challenge really is to continue to be, doing things new. Half of the audience or more are people who come each year. And so you wouldn't want to, present the same show to them year after year, and so tonight's quite special because it's the 20th anniversary, so we're doing the same thing we did for the 15th anniversary and actually also for the 10th anniversary, which was to have Gordon Goodwin's Big Phat Band also play and the legendary Johnny Mathis.
Johnny Mathis, and the Big Phat Band spelled with a PH. Right. P-H-A-T.
Come on.
That's a very 90s kind of thing. I remember P-H-A-T was everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, that's fat. That's cool. So now it's been 20 years since the 90s, which is so weird to say because that was when I was in high school. And so that's when you're hearing all these terms, and yet it's still so cool. Now the 90s making a resurgence, you see a very youthful atmosphere, and the crowd here is actually, the dichotomy is, it's all over the place. It's young, old, and just here to enjoy the music. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's been great over the years just to see, the cross-section of diversity as far as the age, simply, of the audience. I mean, it just goes to show you, how much people want to, support a cause and to, do things that it's not just another Sunday concert. Not only it's more expensive than a normal concert, and I think people realize that, not only are they, supporting having a fun time on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, but also their money is going to this fantastic charity.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. You be well. I know you got to run, so thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, Eric Marienthal, Grammy Award winner, here with High Hopes down in Newport Beach. I'm Timmy D with BackStage360. Rock and roll. Thank you so much, man.
Hello and welcome to BackStage360 magazine. This is Alicia Previn, and I'm here in beautiful Newport Beach for the High Hopes fundraiser. It's wonderful what they're doing here, and I actually have a very special guest, Mary Desmond, a wonderful jazz singer who's been singing since she's a little kid, and she is performing here before we go to the main event. And she actually, I want to hear more about her, but I want to introduce her also to say that she is the daughter of Mark Desmond, who started this all off, and I just want to know, I'm so excited to hear what it must have been like for her growing up seeing him doing this from probably birth, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been amazing growing up in the environment of High Hopes, because I've really gotten to appreciate life, because there's so many people that they lived a normal life and all of a sudden an accident happened and they lost the ability to walk, to talk, to do normal things that people do every day. So seeing that and growing up around that, it really taught me to have a lot of gratitude of like where I am, and also it has taught me to persevere, because you see so many students at High Hopes, no matter like what circumstances they are in, they are persevering and healing through the treatment there. So it's pretty cool.
Fantastic. So you see the opportunities they're offered,
yeah,
and that they have these dreams and hopes, and you have your own dreams and hopes, so
Yeah.
it's helped you with that, right?
Totally, yeah.
So what's next? You have albums out? You're making new albums?
Yeah, so I'm actually making some new original music right now, but you can check out some of my old music on Spotify or iTunes, Apple Music. Just look up Mary Desmond, you can find it that way, or you can look on my YouTube channel because I post regular videos there, and subscribe there. Just look up Mary Desmond.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We all want to do that. And now I want to ask you, what got you interested in jazz?
Actually, just growing up, even like, this is a 20th concert. So I'm 19 and I was like in my mom's like stomach the first year that this is here. And so I was technically here every year. So I think just growing up around this too has inspired me. And when I was really young, I was very interested in musical theater, and a lot of older musical theater kind of is similar to jazz, so I think that's like how it was easy for me to cross over in that.
And you have some other dreams besides going outside of just recording jazz songs and performing them? Are you into theater and things like that?
Yeah, I'm into theater, and a lot of the music that I write actually is pop, so I kind of dabble in different genres because I love them all. I can't just choose. So yeah.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, so have you done some theater? Are you interested in acting too, as well as musical theater, right?
Yeah, mostly musical theater because singing is like my main passion. But yeah, I've done a lot of musical theater, and I was on the national touring cast of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when I was younger, and I've done some different regional theater, stuff like that. But I haven't done it in a few years, except for like my school productions. But we might get back out there and acting.
All right. So are you going to school for any of those?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to school for commercial music. And yeah, I'm really loving it. I'm going to be a sophomore this next coming year in college. I was held back so many years. Just kidding.
Well, it's a lot to do. I mean, high school, college, they all take up a lot of time. And I'm glad that you have the support and the inspiration, like you said, that you got from this. And let me think, are you a writer too?
Yeah. I do a lot of songwriting, and I love doing that, and like spilling out what like my thoughts and like dreams are like in a song, and expressing myself that way.
And how do you have other people you work with? I write songs, but I used to write them on the violin because I'm a violinist.
Ooh.
But I would get a guitarist to help me with the chords. Do you have people that you can collaborate with?
So yeah, I love writing by myself, but it's always fun to do a co-write and have a person to like bounce ideas off of. So yeah, I have a lot of friends that also work in this industry that I work with.
I'm sure you do. So that's great. So you're going to school for commercial music.
Yeah.
Is there any particular commercial music that makes you, that gets you going?
I think that like in any music I can find appreciation.
That's good.
And yeah, I love like looking at different genres, but like my main passion and what I write most is pop and like singer-songwriter pop kind of genre. So I think that's what really gets me like going the most.
That's important today, I think, too, because even if it's something that you become successful singing, you also can offer your songs for other people.
To do that.
So that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
interview,
so much.
and I wish you all the best today.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Mary. This is Alicia Previn signing off for BackStage360. And we're back with BackStage360 magazine, and I have a very special guest here today named Ron Young, and he's a lovely man, just so vivacious and outgoing, a great advocate for the cause. Tell us about what it did for you.
My name is Ron, and I'm one of the students here at High Hopes. And I want to say High Hopes is all about the students here. Well, at 52, I got multiple sclerosis. A couple years later, I lost my walking completely. And for everybody out there who walks, you can't even think how devastating that is. Unbelievable, it's unimaginable. My whole life changed. My activities, my daily routines, I couldn't dress myself, I couldn't take a shower myself, I couldn't do all the things I was able to do by myself. And it really impacted my life and changed my life. The doctors all told me, look, Ron, unfortunately there's no cure for this. nothing we can do at all. Well, I found out about High Hopes, and I went over one time to High Hopes and spoke to the director, Mark Desmond. And High Hopes is the only place on the planet where you'll find very, very exotic robotic therapy equipment. I researched High Hopes and I found out they have a machine called a Locomat. I went and talked to Mark and I said, you know, Mark, I really want to try this machine. He turned around and looked at me. He said, how do you know it'll work? I said, Mark, how do you know it won't work? Well, he said, let me think about it. It was funny because I brought him a little gift, a bottle of wine, and I said, you know what, keep this, just give me a shot at the machine. I so want to try this. Because I knew in my heart there's nothing else. There's nothing left for me. And I don't want to be like an old banana peel where they just throw me away and I have nothing left. So a couple weeks later, he called me up. He said they're getting another machine a couple months later, and he let me try it. Well, lo and behold, when I went down the first day, the machine holds you up with a harness. It has a treadmill underneath, an exoskeleton which goes around the legs, and it actually emulates human walking. I started on the machine, and it measured the amount of weight I can hold on my legs, and I could barely hold 2 pounds. Wow. At the end of 20 minutes, my legs were able to hold 8 pounds. Well, 3.5 years later, my legs now hold 110 pounds. I weigh 156. If I can hold 150 pounds, I'll actually be able to stand again. Unbelievable.
That's fantastic, and you're so accomplished. Anyway, you have 2 master's degrees, you told me?
Yes, ma'am.
And the beauty of what he's doing now is he's an advocate for everybody who just wants to give up, that has these problems, that are disabled, they just give up, they don't want to do anything, but that's your big drive in life.
And no place on the planet, folks, no place on this planet is there some place like High Hopes. And when you support High Hopes and donate to the cause, and without your donations, we wouldn't have this place, help people to walk again, to use their hands again, what a blessing that is. What a gift to give another human being. The ability to walk again, the ability to use your hands and pick up something again. No other place on this planet has this kind of robotic therapy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we love the fact that your dream is to be able to stand and walk again, and I know you're going to achieve it, Ron. It's very obvious.
I want to help other people achieve that dream also. And I'm so grateful to High Hopes to be a student here, but even more grateful to all of you out there who support the cause and help with your donations. Because without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And I have a dream to walk again. And you know what? With all your help and support, all of you out there and your donations, with the robotic therapy that they have and the new machines that they'll be able to purchase, one day, with your help, that dream might come true, and I might be able to walk again.
I believe it. Thank you, Ron, from BackStage Magazine.
God bless all of you out there. Thank you so much for your support.
You bet. We thank you. And Alicia Previn for BackStage360 Magazine. Bye for now.
How's it going, everybody? Timmy D with Pullman Standard, on assignment with BackStage360. I wasn't even looking at the camera when I said that. It doesn't matter because I'm hanging out with Terry Wollman,
That's right.
producer, guitarist, and you know, I'd like to say there's a bit of acting and songwriting in there.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to let you carry this the rest of the way. Why don't you tell these fine folks how you get your hair to look so good?
That's pure luck. I mean,
me too. Actually, it's a hat. It's pure hat, pure
right?
luck.
Pure hat, and the shirt that's all Melanie.
We were talking about Miami,
right?
Living in your bones. So grew up in. How does that affect you, mellowing out here, though?
Well, it affects me musically as well. By the way, growing up in Miami, it's not really the equator or the tropics, but it feels like it.
Like today.
Yeah, very much so.
Like reminds me of Miami winter.
Right.
This is solid. I don't know why there isn't lights on trees. Continue, sir. I apologize.
So I think just being that you're asking about the mellow factor, and by the way, I have a black belt in karate, so there's a balance, but I guess that's because I'm a Libra, so I think to sort of make the mellowness work out. From growing up on the water, I went and studied martial arts.
You studied
which I love.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's aggressive. It's
well, you learn how to stay away from a fight.
Yes.
But it's also great for us in the music business.
Yes.
To have some self-defense technique.
Exactly.
Because we're under the attack.
If you can't afford
of our talent,
if you can't afford a 24-hour bodyguard, then yeah, you are exposed a lot of times on tour.
Yeah,
and,
we are.
You know, you're really out in the open when you're trying to carry gear to the back.
Absolutely.
So,
right.
I can see that.
But also the martial arts has expanded into my music as well. It's there's a different depth of confidence that comes from being
and focus, probably.
Focus, absolutely.
Helps you bring it in, like when you're trying to really find that next step, when you're working on a tune, when you have that focus.
Yeah.
You could definitely take that next step. I'm just speaking as a songwriter myself, so I'm going to stop interviewing myself. Let's get back to you.
But as a songwriter, there are a lot of similarities. So growing up in Miami influenced me musically. I also, I guess I have a relaxed part of who I am that's from growing up. I lived on a boat for 5 years in Miami, so that has to affect you. I mean, just the rocking and being around fish and birds, and it broadens your awareness about nature.
Do you find that once you got off that boat that you kept rocking?
Yeah.
That was a pun.
Yeah. Yes and yes. Clever.
There you go. Sorry
and I
about
still
that.
to this day keep on rocking.
Oh, man.
I walked right into that.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I set it up like a wall anyways for you, just right there. Gosh, there's so much I want to talk to you about because
you want to ask me about Dick Van Dyke.
That was exactly where I was going.
I can feel you.
Let me segue, sir. Let me segue. I don't know if you heard, but the young lady that was here before was in the traveling musical of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I did not hear that.
You can talk to her about that because
I intend
my
to.
main man here, let's talk about Mr. Dick Van Dyke.
Wow.
Mary Poppins extraordinaire, and also the Dick Van Dyke Show, and just America's sweetheart for so many years.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you're old enough to remember that.
Thank you.
Unless you Googled that before the interview.
No, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s where you had the actual Disney Channel, and so it was reruns of Mary Poppins, and before it became the Disney Channel it is.
Right.
The Disney Channel it is today. Come on through, Nestle. Come on through. Room 342. It's right at the back, and we'll see you there. You coming to hang out too?
I am now.
All right, let's get back to Mr. Dick Van Dyke. How did you come about working with him?
I ended up producing a song for an HBO movie called If You're Not in the Obit, Eat Breakfast. And incidentally, the sax player that I brought into the band was Eric Marienthal, who is hosting today's event. I knew the director of this movie, and he had been interviewing...
I'm just getting tired. Keep going.
You need more bicep curls, and
you know what, man?
It's all core, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Let's not talk about my workout regimen right now, okay? Got a lot. I'm a little stressed out. I'm a little nervous sitting next to you because you're so awesome.
No.
Let's get back.
Well, thank you. Likewise.
Sorry, man. It's a kindred
dude.
spirit. It's
right.
tough.
It's
because,
true. It is true.
Because I want to talk to you about the production side. We'll do that off camera.
Yes.
Let's get this on camera. Let's talk about Mr. Dick Van Dyke and you working with him.
The movie is about people in their 90s and 100s, older folks, nobody under 90, except for me and a couple of the other guys in the band, that are living active, vital lives. So Dick was one of many people that were interviewed in the movie. Well, he's a musical guy. He's like, he sings, he's all the time, even at home, he's singing and dancing and playing around. So because of that came up in the interview when they interviewed him, just sitting, he's singing songs. So the director called me and said, I've got an idea about doing a song in the movie.
Yeah.
Is this something you could write an arrangement and produce and put a band together? I said, absolutely. And that's how it happened. And it was a wonderful experience.
I must stop you.
Yeah.
Did he want you to write and arrange it and build one of those 20 instruments in one drum set kind of thing that he had in Mary Poppins?
No.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
Can you arrange this, and possibly put this instrument together?
Yeah.
That would have been rad.
Yeah,
I mean,
would've.
it still is rad that you put a band together for him. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, Brian's holding up the candlestick behind me.
I think
You
that's
can't
a
see
sign
it.
for
That's-
something to happen.
He's telling me to look up, I think. Something's coming. I don't see. It's good you're blimp. That's not a long enough interview. I want to talk to him more.
No
You heard it
curtain
today. You heard it straight from Mr. Terry Wollman, Mr. Caesar himself. My name's Timmy D for Pullman Standard and BackStage360. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Terry,
Thank you,
rock
Tim.
and roll. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, and we're back from our break at BackStage360 magazine. Alicia Previn here, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Gordon Goodwin, who has a wonderful 18-piece band called the Phat Band, the Big Phat Band.
Get it right.
Sorry, I've been distracted because he's got these amazing tennis shoes on, and I want them so badly. But I don't know if you're going to get a shot of them.
Are you going to get a shot of the shoes?
Yeah, the shoes are amazing.
I
The
gotta do
Big
the shoes.
Phat Band, and it says it right there.
Right,
So
you're-
make sure you get that. And he's got a tie that almost matches as well.
All right,
Anyway, you're going to be performing today, right?
We are indeed.
I'm so excited.
This is our
So-
third time at High Hopes.
Third time, okay.
Yeah, third time. And Eric Marienthal and I go back to high school days.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We were at the same high school, but we were at that same age group, and we saw each other at jazz festivals and worked together at Disneyland. There's a time when Eric worked at the
Right.
park, and I was there too. So it's a lifelong friendship. And to watch what he's doing with this organization, the commitment he's made to putting this on year after year after year, it's inspiring. It's real life.
Yes, it is.
It's not show business.
No.
We're all just preoccupied with music and my music and the show business and that's all important stuff and meaningful for people. But this is meaningful in a deeper way, I think. So we're so proud of Eric that he's doing this.
So you
this
obviously
gig.
love doing this, and tell me more about what it means to you, just personally and for the band. I mean, they must be affected too, right?
They are. Our band we've been together since 2000. So do the math. That's a lot. I
18
never
piece.
thought that I would have a band that long and that
Stop.
we could keep it rolling economically, because 18 guys is an expensive endeavor, right?
It's like herding cats, is it?
They're divas, first of all.
Okay.
They're all incredibly talented and they're complete divas. But yet, every one of them is going to be on that stage in a few minutes, donating their time for Eric and for High Hopes and the great work they do. So, we played at the Hollywood Bowl and Walt Disney Concert Hall and incredible venues across the world. And yet, it's these gigs that are the ones that are unforgettable and meaningful and kind of unite us as a band.
Mm-hmm. They
'Cause this-
feed you, right? They
it's-
kind of feed you.
They do, and it's not just about us and our music, It's about our music trying to give back to the people that are going to be out in the audience that have suffered incredible tragedy.
Have you met several of them and talked to them?
Every year I get to meet these people.
That's wonderful.
And I see what the courage that they have every day to get up and do things that we take for granted.
That's right.
And we're worried about our iPhone doesn't work and whatever is our problem of the day.
Yes.
And we have first world problems compared to these people. So,
So true. It's
it's
so
great
bad.
for us to come down and be a part of High Hopes.
Yes, I did get to interview one of the students, and it was just wonderful. I mean, he's so inspiring just to sit with. And I mean, you have obviously achieved so much too that you spend your time doing this. It should mean a lot to our audience. I mean, you have Grammys, you've been nominated so many times, you have Emmys, you've been nominated 22 times, I heard?
21.
21 times?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Hoping for another. Well, it's funny about the Grammy nominations because look, it doesn't make my music better. It really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that lose Grammy, I mean, I've won 4 times, and so that means I've lost, 17 times.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that my music's any better or worse. But there is something about the marketability and that what you can use that as a tool to keep doing this.
Oh, sure.
That's what's great about Grammys and Emmys and all that. Obviously, there's an ego boost when you get acknowledged by your peers. That's great.
Of course.
But that's fleeting because the next day I have to get up and write another song.
Yes, it's obviously a huge achievement having that many bands. I mean, I've been in bands with 7 people, and I know what a burden that is. But to, like you say, to carry that many band members, keep them going, be able to pay them, that's just a wonderful achievement in itself. And then to use that time to come here and give your time for that.
But like I said, on my worst day, I get to do music.
That's right.
Right? How many people do we know that hate their jobs?
Most people.
Most people do, and I get to, even when I'm writing music for a movie or something, maybe it's not music I believe in,
Yeah.
but it's still a great day. I get to write music and they pay me to do it. So I remain, and everybody in the band remains cognizant of that. We've retained our gratitude that we have a life in music. So
That's so important.
And I think that informs the way we play and the way the music sounds as well.
I know. Well, I'm a little biased because I come from a family of musicians, so
Yeah.
I'm used to the lifestyle. I know what it's like. I know that, especially jazz musicians, they don't really get paid as well as they should. Maybe in Japan, you know, in certain places. And then the other side of my family is classical. But I know that what a commitment it is, and I know that it's somewhat taken for granted. So I think again, you know, what you're doing means a lot, and I can't wait to hear the band. But
Well, there's the question, right? For jazz musicians and for classical musicians, you work your whole life to learn how to do it, and you don't get paid very much money to do it, and you're up against cultural resistance and economic resistance, but yet we do it anyway. Why? And it taught me
you
that
can't not do it.
there are reasons to do things besides money.
Yeah.
And that's something we lose sight of in a capitalistic society. Look, I need money. I want to pay my bills. I would like to have a nice car. But to me, it's more important that I do what I love, and that's what I'm blessed to be able to do.
That's what we get to do.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. So this is going to be a great day, and I know that you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be so fulfilled by doing it. So I'm really thankful to get to interview. Sorry I hadn't met you before.
And
Gordon, but-
don't forget also, we had the honor of playing with Johnny Mathis on this concert tonight.
That's right.
And Johnny Mathis, I worked for him. I conducted for him for
Oh.
about 5 years, on and off. Wrote a lot of arrangements for him, and we became friends. So if you would have told me 20 years ago that you're going to get up and you're going to be able to introduce Johnny Mathis, and I've done this, he's done about, 10, 12 gigs with us over the years. I never would have believed you.
Yes.
But that just shows you just keep your head down, keep doing your good work, and then you end up, and then you're up playing with Johnny Mathis on
You're
the
with a
stage.
legend, right?
A living legend.
Living legend.
Who walks amongst us.
And he's still going, and he still has more albums coming out, I'm sure. And
This is his third time at High Hopes.
okay.
This is his third time that he's driven all the way down to perform for free for this organization. So that says something about him too.
Yes, it does. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Gordon, for your interview, and I hope to see you again. Maybe next time I'll get to.
One more shot of the
talk to you
shoes
next time.
before we go.
Yeah, please get the shoes.
One more shot.
We all want them. He needs them on the website, and yeah.
Right.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back. My name's Timmy D from Pullman Standard. On behalf of BackStage360, or in conjunction, however you want to spin it, I'm sitting here with Mr. Steve Cederquist from Flip or Flop and many other projects. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm good. That's it. That's it. We're good. We got it?
We got
Did
it.
we get it? Perfect. Steve, let's start with Flip or Flop. You're on season number...
They are on season number 7. Or 8. Wait, 7 or 8. I'm not sure. I think they're on 8 now. It's the last season.
You
It's
caught
the
me
last
off guard with that one. I thought
Yeah.
it was like 2 less than that, but it's good.
No, they're up. They're
Let's-
up. They're already up to 8, but they're done.
Let's
This is
move
it.
on from that.
Done
You
it.
grew up Southern California native,
I did.
Arcadia.
I did.
My parents are from Pasadena,
Oh, man.
so I know that area very, very well.
We're Valley people.
Yeah, Valley people. I live in the San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel though, much bigger.
Oh, I love San Gabriel.
So you got your start swinging a hammer, doing cabinetry. I read your bio. Cabinetry?
Okay.
You said?
Cabinetry. Uh-huh.
I love working with my hands. I do music, but I also ask any of my boys that have toured with me, and they always see me doing a project. I had this marquee I built for our stage setup, so it's one of those things. I love that contact. And is that something that's always lived with you, or is it just because you are a product of your environment?
No, it lives with me. It lives with me in my designs, what I do today. I mean, I'm very hands-on. Doing a really cool project, and it's really cool because they got up in the morning, and him and his wife, and they're like, "Dude, you're here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm recreating this because I'm doing this really cool fireplace, this whole facade thing, and it's just the way I wanted it. The way it was coming out, I didn't like it, so I actually went down and ripped down half of it and just started, mocking it up the way I wanted to do it. I don't know. I'm very into my projects. I like to make sure that they come out right. I like good chemistry and good energy.
You know your craft.
I
You
know
have a
my
good team
craft, but
behind you.
I do have a great team behind me. I'm co-owner in a company called Simply Stunning Spaces out of San Diego. We got a location there, but we're moving to Huntington Beach. We're not moving, sorry, expanding, and then to Beverly Hills by the end of the year.
Simply Stunning Spaces.
Yep.
5 times fast. Go, audience.
Simply Stunning Spaces.
There it is.
Real fast. Yeah.
Just got to give them something to think about for a second, digest. Anyways, you're moving it up here
Yeah.
from San Diego. That's where I grew up.
Well, she's gonna. Well, I'm Darcy Kempson. She's the owner down at the San Diego office, but I bought into her company, and then we're expanding to Huntington Beach.
Nice.
And then we'll do the one. So we'll keep Huntington Beach. San Diego, expand Huntington, and then have Beverly Hills.
In your bio, it said you've done over 500 houses in the OC.
I have.
That's over a good amount of time. But for some guy who has a reputation that of really taking each project by storm and being like, this is what we're going to do, stem to stern, that's a lot of time, man. That's a lot of commitment. How do you do that over the years?
I started out just myself. I was doing just smaller projects back in 2005, 4 or 5, and then what happened is 2008 hit, the recession hit.
Yeah.
And everybody and their brother called me and said, hey, can you do this house, can you do this? And the banks called me, and so I grew like 500% by doing flip house.
So we're talking with Steve Cederquist here, because I have a few more questions. You have some stuff in the burner besides what you were teasing a little bit, but you can't talk about. Books, anything else coming out?
I've got the book. The book will be done by the end of, the manuscript will be done by the end of summer. Then it goes into publication. So we'll see how that goes. Hoping it gets out by Christmas I don't know how long that stuff takes. It's an interesting book. It's about how to kind of reset your life and how to, I see a lot of people that they struggle, and I wanted to write a book that was actually would benefit and help people. They were starting to write it about me, and I'm like, no, I don't. You can write about struggles and about, goals and things that I've done to try to better myself and better this world, what I really want to do. And that's the legacy I want to leave. I want to leave this place, the world a better place than I came in it.
You would be the fulcrum, your stories would be the fulcrum to allow people to swing into their own story and relate to you and be inspired. That's what you're saying. I like that. And when you converted from typewriter to actual laptop, did you think the writing went a little bit faster?
Writing went a lot faster.
A lot faster.
Actually, I just dictate now.
That's what I do when I'm writing.
I
may just dictate this whole interview, plug it in the computer, and voila, job done like that.
I know, right?
Sometimes I go back to the typewriter just to, I put some, bifocals on and just really get to working. But book title.
I think we've kind of gone back and forth, but I think the one we're going to stick with right now is Get Out of Your Own Way. Because I think, have you noticed that how when we want to change our lives and we do, we just bump into each, we get in our own way. And I think people need to kind of realize that I think the best thing to do is like when you're struggling through something, get out of your own head, be of service of somebody else.
Absolutely.
Like my girlfriend's fighting cancer right now, and it's a tough battle for her, but I finally got her to get out of her own head and be of service and do something for someone else and be of service and get out of there, and you kind of forget about how where your head where you're going. I think it actually works on healing too.
Perspective and catharsis. It's a little bit cathartic to help somebody else put perspective and then be able to move forward.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I think
it's really good. Get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way.
You heard it here, folks. Anyways, Steve, it's such a pleasure talking to you, man.
Likewise.
Such a pleasure talking to you. For BackStage360, my name's Timmy D. Rock and roll.
Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm you. On my own, when I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm too busy, too much in love. You can say, baby,